Listen up, you primitive screwheads. It's time once again to talk about Evil Dead the game. Because something very exciting is taking place right now. After being sold for its $40 MSRP since its launch back in May, Evil Dead is undergoing its first ever free period, from November the 17th to November the 22nd. I'm not just talking about a free trial weekend here. During this 5-day period, you can download the game for free and then keep it forever as if you'd bought it. This is a massive deal, and it's coming off the back of Evil Dead being part of the late October Halloween sale on the Epic Games Store. When I posted about the October sale on my YouTube community page, a lot of people expressed concerns about giving their money to Epic, and hopefully this free period will put your mind at ease, because now you can play Evil Dead without having to give those sods at Epic a single penny. All you have to do is download Evil Dead from the Epic Games Store between the 17th and 22nd of November, and you get to keep it forever. It's only the base game, which contains 13 survivors and 4 demons, but the post-release survivors, David, Mia and the Blacksmith, can either be bought individually or can be purchased collectively with the first season pass. And because Saber has the manpower to actually handle cheating in their game, and Evil Dead is small enough that the market for cheats in general isn't properly developed, the massive influx of free accounts hopefully won't result in what happened when DBD had its spree of free accounts on Epic, that led to the current epidemic of cheaters in the game on burner accounts. The two biggest barriers to entry for Evil Dead have always been the game's high upfront cost, and the fact that it's Epic exclusive on PC. And while it probably isn't coming to Steam anytime soon, at least probably until next year, getting it for free on Epic is kind of too good a deal to ignore, especially if an eventual Steam release date comes with cross progression. I heartily advise picking it up and trying it out, even if you don't initially intend to keep playing it. By giving the game a go, you're losing nothing, and who knows, you might find a new favourite, or at least another ASIM to play when you're tired of Dead by Daylight. But Pixel, I hear the internet cry whenever I bring up Evil Dead. Isn't Evil Dead a dead game? And to that I say, well, of course not. And if you truly, genuinely believe Evil Dead is a dead game, you probably have a skewed definition of what a dead game actually means. A dead game isn't a game that doesn't have a massive Twitch category or doesn't get you a lot of views on YouTube. A dead game isn't being updated anymore. A dead game has been abandoned by its developers, and its lack of maintenance by the devs causes the player base to go extinct. Even games with tiny player counts like VHS, Prop Night and Home Sweet Home Survive are still being updated by the developer teams. They're small games with shelf lives that might not be very long depending on how well the small player base can keep the game financed, but they're not dead for now. And if those small player counts can sustain the game's development and don't negatively affect the player experience, there's really nothing to be worried about. We don't have numbers for Evil Dead's player count due to the game not being on Steam. But even if the game's player count is low, it doesn't seem to have hurt the game's experience and certainly has stopped the devs from keeping the game updated. As well as the free download period, Evil Dead's just received a brand new prestige system as a way to ensure long-term player retention, and has had regular balance updates and content drops since launch. The game came out 6 months ago, almost to the day, and since then we've had 4 new survivors, a new demon, a new map, half a dozen new weapons, a couple of solo missions, and quite a few cosmetics, on top of the regular balance updates and bug fixes you expect in a live service title. And the game certainly has a lot more in the pipeline. Multiple survivors and demons from the Ash vs Evil Dead TV series have been data mined or appear in the credits of the game, as well as Scotty's girlfriend Shelley from the original movie. And let's not forget, a new Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Rise, is coming out in April next year, and if you think that's not a giant flashing neon sign saying, "New content for Evil Dead the game," then I think you're very much mistaken. Evil Dead is a game with a future, and if it's anything like the massive steps the game has taken in the 6 months since its launch, the future is looking bright. Even assuming the worst case scenario of the game never coming to Steam, and the new content cycle not being enough to retain players long term, I guarantee Evil Dead's got like another year of heavy developer support lined up just based on what we know is coming, and what we can reasonably assume is coming in the near future. Even though we don't have player numbers, I'd be willing to bet that it's doing better than VHS is right now, I'll tell you that for nothing. Well, it's got crossplay, like of course it's doing better than VHS. So in short, Evil Dead's a great pickup right now. There has literally never been a better time to get into it, and it's a game that's going from strength to strength with a really exciting future. Does this sound a bit like a sales pitch? Yeah, kind of. But that's just because I'm really enthusiastic about this game, and I really hope this free period helps get people to try it out. But let's say my little sales pitch has just worked. You download the game, boot it up for the first time. Where do you start? Well, the first thing you want to do is the tutorial, which is kind of like the one that DBD has, in that it's good at telling you what the controls are, but not great at educating you about how a game actually goes. And while you're there, you may as well do the Survivor solo missions. The first, third, fourth and fifth missions will unlock characters for you. The Ash vs Evil Dead version of Ash, Amanda, Pablo and Lord Arthur. But I'd advise playing through all of them if you're just starting out, just to get you some practice with moving and controlling different survivors. Once you've done that, you've got some options. If you don't feel like you're ready to dive into online matches, you can play some Survivor with a pre-made group or total randos against an AI demon, or even on your own with AI survivors and a demon. But you can't play demon with AI. If you want to play demon, you'll have to do it in regular online matches. Regardless of whether you're playing AI matches or regular online play, the Survivor and demon objectives remain the same. The survivors have a series of tasks to do, the progress of which is tracked by the bar at the top, and which will be prompted about throughout the course of the match. And unlike, say, Dead by Daylight or VHS, where the killer is the one racing to apply pressure against time, it's down to the survivors to get the job done and get the objectives complete before the demon's forces overwhelm them. The survivors have to find and collect the 3 pieces of the map from locations in the world, and once you collect them, the 2 control points will activate. The Kandarian Dagger and the Necronomicon pages, which the survivors will have to capture. Survivors have half an hour to get to this stage of the game, or the demon wins by default. Once this is accomplished, the survivors have to banish the Dark Ones, an AI-controlled mini-boss, and then defend the Necronomicon from the demon's attempt to destroy it for 2 minutes before they finally win the match. If the demon wipes out the survivors at any stage of the game, runs out the objective clock, or destroys the Necronomicon within 2 minutes of the defeat of the Dark Ones, the demon wins instead. There's 4 different demons and 16 different survivors who are all mechanically distinct to go through, and a lot of this stuff I've covered in my first video on Evil Dead. So, in lieu of going through all of them, I'm just going to give out a few quick tips for starting out playing both sides. First Survivor and then Demon. But before I do, I just want to give a tip to both sides. When you're starting out, your characters won't have points in them, and you'll need to play games and spend your spirit points on XP to level your characters. Whilst it doesn't take terribly long to do, the grind in Evil Dead is actually quite forgiving outside the prestige system, you will notice feeling quite possibly underpowered against a fully upgraded opponent, especially if you're a brand new demon going up against fully leveled up survivor teams. But don't lose hope. You'll get to that level soon, and during the free-to-play period I expect an influx of new players, so you'll probably get match-made into lobbies with other unleveled players more than you would normally. It's very easy to get discouraged by getting your shit rolled in your first few matches, which is why I suggest doing the solo missions first to get a feel for the controls, and maybe squadding up as a survivor team to make the learning experience a group activity, make it a bit easier. Demon is the harder role to get into by far, but trust me, as soon as you wipe out a whole team by possessing a high damage carry, or before the survivor team with a boss, you'll feel that urge to keep going. When you're starting out playing Survivor, the first mistake I see survivors doing is drawing attention to themselves and getting the demon on their ass early in the match. This is easily the best way to lose a game of Evil Dead. If you're underleveled and haven't spent time looking for good weapons and ammunition, a single possessed deadite can just waste you, especially if you're on your own. There's a lot survivors can do that flags their location to the demon. Firing guns, driving cars, and letting your fear get too high and getting terrified all reveal your location, however briefly, to the demon. And all it takes is a vague inkling of where the survivors are to have the demon barreling down on top of you far earlier than you're prepared for. This is particularly bad news if you're terrified, since the demon will be able to possess you and make you attack your teammates if you can't get your fear down by the time they arrive. If you're going to fight basic AI mobs, do so with melee weapons and do not let your fear get too high. Feel free to use matchsticks you might have to light fires, even if it wastes more time. If the demon doesn't find you until you've got some loot and maybe a couple map pieces under your belt, it was worth it. Oh, and stick together. So even if the demon does find you, you couldn't just wail on the possessed unit until the demon is forced out, and then you can drive and shoot to your heart's content. Other than that, the best piece of advice I would give you is the use of voice comms. The best thing you can use them for by far is requesting ammo and healing items. Because guns in Evil Dead use 3 different types of ammunition, pistol, long gun and special, it's probable that you'll have looted stashes of ammunition that you won't be able to use in your current weapon, but your teammate might have use for it. If you've got, say, special ammo, and you're carrying a pistol, let the guy on your team who's carrying a nail gun know that so they can pick up your ammo stash if you drop it. Or if you're a hunter who just found a legendary shotgun but hasn't got any ammo for it, call it out to your team that your gun needs any longer ammo that they can spare.
You got any spare long ammo?
I should have a little bit. Give me a second. I dropped it all. It's at my feet.
Okay.
I'll ping it for you so you don't lose it.
Thank you. Oh, that's perfect, thank you.
Survivors get so much info from the base game without comms that you mostly don't need VC. But for distributing ammunition, as well as Shemp's colas and amulets to your supports, it's indisputably useful. Demon is the harder of the two roles, but it's recently gotten a lot more tolerable after a series of buffs over September designed to give Demon players much more agency in matches. And Demon's the role I played more of in my time playing Evil Dead, so here's some stuff I wish I knew when I was starting out with the game. The first thing you'll want to know is how to find survivors. And tracking the survivor's spawn location in the early game is kind of similar to tracking the lament configuration when you're playing Pinhead in Dead by Daylight. You can see the locations of the pages and dagger at the start of the match, but the survivors can't. So you just need to look at where you've spawned and where the two objectives have spawned, and imagine about a mini-map's worth of distance around each of them. If you can picture where survivors can't have spawned, anywhere in these areas, you can set yourself a path to zoom around the map to cover all the areas they could have spawned. Do this, and you'll find survivors early far more often than not, and start that early snowball going. Another quick trick to help you get the most out of your matches as Demon is making your possessions economical. Possessing a unit and then maintaining that possession costs infernal energy, so it's imperative to save yourself as much time and effort as you can. Survivors announce when they reload their guns, so if you're planning on possessing them to use that nice gun they've got, wait for them to say that reload line before possessing. If you don't, you might just get stun locked while reloading and never even get a shot off. Creating a unit from a portal costs a decent amount of infernal energy as well, so it's better to possess a deadite that's either spawned from a trap, which are very cheap to place, or a deadite that's just vibing in the environment that you get access to for free. Not having to pay full price for your unit means you have more energy to spend during the possession to keep swinging longer. And using your demonic dash gives you a quick shot on the arm of infernal energy, so you can dash through a survivor to immediately get enough infernal energy to get a possession that's going to last. The only other trick I really wish I knew about when I was playing Demon for the first time was chest traps. There are two kinds of chest traps. Ash's Hand, which deals a decent chunk of damage and fear damage to anybody who opens it, and Mini Ashes, which deal less of both, but will also steal something from the survivor, whether that be ammunition, a cola, or an amulet. Trapping a chest with either of these gives you way more threat level points than you would just placing a regular trap, and what you use is mostly up to you. Ash's Hand is great if you're going for a possession heavy build or strategy and want to get survivors' fear higher faster, but Mini Ashes are invaluable if you're playing against an item reliant character you want to counter, like a Cheryl who guzzles Shemp's colas, a Pablo dishing out amulets, or a hunter popping off with a powerful gun who would be, inconvenienced if the ammo suddenly went missing. Beyond that, there's so much complexity to this game on both sides. For intentionally flipping cards as Demon to prevent survivors from being able to use them, to appropriately spacing out around particular units and bosses as Survivor to have the best chance possible of shutting them down before they can get value. And if people wanted more in-depth guides on Evil Dead, I would happily make them if the demand was there. And even if there isn't, I'll probably make an Elagos guide at some point soon, because he's just too fun. The game has a really satisfying learning curve, and if you can stomach these sometimes lengthy survivor queues, there's a fantastic experience here just waiting to be discovered. I love Evil Dead. There's a reason I stream it about much I stream DVD at this point. And I know its prohibitively high price point for a game that many people are uncertain about has put many players off. Which is why I hope this free trial period gets the game into players' hands who might have otherwise left it alone. For players who want something fresh from the ASIM subgenre and are tired of Dead by Daylight's endless, quirks, Evil Dead might provide something genuinely exciting. Especially for Survivor players who want the 4 in the 4v1 to have more gameplay depth than holding M1 on a generator. It's certainly not a game without flaws. The Survivor queue times can get pretty damn lengthy. The game does have an issue with the power of high rarity weapons skewing the result of matches, and the brand new prestige system is far too unforgiving, although Saber have said they're liable to change that. But Saber has changed so much about the game in just 6 months, I suspect a lot of these issues won't be sticking around for long. Between the constant active maintenance Saber is doing on the game, and the probability of Ash vs Evil Dead and later Evil Dead Rise content coming to the game in the new year, Evil Dead's future is exciting. I'd love to see as many people as possible be part of it. So by all means, take this opportunity this week to try it out. Maybe get some friends involved. You might just be surprised by how much of a bloody good time Evil Dead can be. So, what do we think? Is Evil Dead suddenly sound like an appealing purchase to you guys? And do you want to see more content about it? While you're down there, you could do some subscribing or notificationing or whatever the hell it is you want to do, but I haven't got a lot of time to talk about that right now. Because on Friday, 3 PM Pacific, I am co-casting alongside Carnivorous the DVD Trans Awareness Week event for Friday, hosted by Jane Romero, which is going to be really exciting. Hope to see you people there. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing this through so I can get it up and ready for patrons, because patrons get to see all the videos I make a day early, and I really want to get this one ready in time. If you want to be part of the Lexcast gang, link is as always in the description, and I really hope to see you on Friday at the Jane Romero Show on Twitch, and if not, I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.